I think we are very lucky to have this land.
We're really lucky to have this green space in among all these tall buildings.
Now I want to introduce a very special plant.
I really love it, and I think different people get different things out of it. And coming and being in a green space is so good for your relaxation.
The name of this farming garden in Chinese we call 幸福农场, and in English you can say happiness farming garden. I want to introduce Mr. Lin because he is a founder to create this farming garden because he involved this farming garden's development and follow it up until now.
大概是有500多坪，500多坪。那它因为眷村整个迁移啊，那留下了一个。
This area used to be belong to Defense Ministry's dormitory for soldiers. Mr. Lin think this is a good location for this residential area to grow something. And Mr. Lin just remembered at that time, he think what kind of plant or to grow. He think that because vegetable is it should be common for the residential people.
欢迎来到伦敦，欢迎来到 Cranbrook Sharing Garden.
Before the garden was here, this area was originally a children's play area, but it had fallen into disuse for a couple of years and the rubbish was building up and it was attracting gangs and drug dealers and things. So a group of local residents decided they wanted to turn it into a garden and they got support from the Housing Association and the council. Got a small grant to clear the land and build the first 10 beds, so the big beds were the first beds that went in. And it's just grown from there really. We're based on Cranbrook Estate, which is the buildings that you can see here. They were designed in the early 60s by Bertolt Hübeken, who was a sort of pioneering modernist architect, so it's quite an iconic part of East London. So yeah, we're very near the city. We're only one tube stop away from Liverpool Street. We've got City Airport nearby, so that's all the planes that you can hear going by. So we're very much in the middle of East London.
In Taiwan, on December is the very good time to grow vegetable because it's pretty warm and not too cold. So here people start growing different kinds of vegetables like lettuce or even flowers. Yeah, like this flower is beautiful. At this season, in this farming garden, there are over 40 kinds of vegetable and plant to grow here. And for example, let me introduce something about this kind of place where it is a kind of wild plant, not but it's edible. People grow this kind of plant. See, yes, it grows bloom, and there is strawberries. In Taiwan, strawberries grow in December. From now on, and then we check out. Yeah, it's a very special for this. It's a pea plant. We call it butterfly pea. It blooms beautiful purple flowers, and this flower people pick up for tea. In this farming garden, people can grow any kinds of plant or vegetable they like. For example, they can grow coffee tree or herbs. Now I'm in the herbs area. This small area, the owner grow over 30 kinds of herbs here. Now I want to introduce a very special plant. Now let me introduce. This plant is very special. In academics name we call it Zensosum, and in Taiwanese there is a nickname. We call it bird not stay. The stem is sticky like a rose. It's so birds cannot stay at this plant. This herbs, in Chinese we call it golden lotus flower. And see the flower, people pick up for tea.
What's quite unique about Cranbrook Community Food Garden is that we share all the beds and all the food, so the garden is everybody's responsibility, whereas quite a lot of gardens you have your own bed to tend. Here we make sure that everyone is involved and then everyone gets to take food from any of the beds. I had never grown vegetables or had my own garden before I came here, so I've been a member here for 10 years, and everything I've learned about gardening I've learned from people who are a bit more experienced than me.
Everyone calls this Chinese pumpkin, but we like to grow this one. It's very easy to grow. One plant coming a lot, massive, and the seed is been 3-4 years at here. We're using the same seed to grow for next year. So they liked the weather here now. It's like before this coming from Canada. Now we grow here, they grow very well.
2009 we started in here. Originally it was a child's playground, and it had all rubbish thrown in it and things like that. The fencing was here, so they cleared it all up. And there was liner underneath because of contamination, because the children playing. So the liner, what was under the rubbish, we've been using for our beds, to put on the soil and ordering soil in, or doing composting, which we're doing here, and they're all in different stages of composting. Okay, so some of them have rotted down, so we're reusing them. Others are in the leaf mulch and things like that. It takes longer to rot down. It does take about a year to rot down, so sometimes you're a bit desperate and you have to buy some in. The only fertiliser we use is usually organic. And we've got to put a sprinkling on. We use chicken manure, organic. And we get a bag and just sprinkle a bit in and dig it in. The only other thing as well is like the broad beans, there is little crystals in the roots, so when you finish with them you can leave the root in and it helps to fertilise the soil. So there's those what I've done. A lot of the time if we buy soil in, it's just topsoil and compost mix, so that we don't have to fertilise it so much. But each time we replant, we put a bit of the chicken manure in and dig it in to make sure that it's rich. The reason these beds are sort of spaced as they are, because we do have a couple of people coming in wheelchairs so that they can get along in between the beds. And the reason we've got the greenhouse and it's got a wide entrance and the sliding door is so that the people in wheelchairs can actually get in there.
你只要加一点点放在那个米饭里面煮。
10 years ago, this lot was the latest to tear down. Then it became a park because the Taipei city government wants to use the empty land and make it beautiful parks or where people can come and play. And then there are 168 lots in this land, in this place. And not all of the citizens here can have one. So we pick the number, and we are lucky to have one. These are the sweet potatoes leaves and stems. I planted with the stem, then it grows so much. And this kind of species is from Japan, so it's thicker and bigger, larger. So it's very, very good for a vegetable. These potato leaves used to be the food of pigs, but now it become a very, very delicious vegetable. In summer we can only grow like eggplant or those very, very, they can stand the hot weather. So in Taiwan, summer is the worst season for plant vegetables. So in summer, the cabbage is very, very expensive. One cabbage costs 200 NT sometimes, especially after typhoon. Because in summer, only the very high mountains can grow cabbages.
About 25 people on our members list, but there's different levels of involvement. So we've probably got about 10 or 12 that are down here sort of every week, keeping the garden going, and then the other people will come in when they can, or if we have a big job that needs doing, like if we need to clear some leaves in the autumn, we'll get more people down just for like a big work day. You have to really keep on top of the watering, because with them being raised beds, they do drain more quickly than if they were directly in the soil. So we have to keep on top of the watering anyway. I really love it, and I think different people get different things out of it. Sometimes, even if you're not very mobile or you have health issues, just coming and being in a green space and sitting and having a cup of tea under the pergola, even that can be so good for your mental health and your relaxation. So yeah, we welcome people of all abilities and all ages and any level of ability that, in terms of what they can do in the garden. Every little helps. So we're open sort of on Saturdays from about 11 o'clock. We just say, if you want to come down, just come down and help out for an hour, have a cup of tea, have a biscuit, take a cucumber away at the end of the day. I feel like it really bonds people. It's a very levelling space where it doesn't matter what you do outside the garden or what your opinions are or what politics you have. You come into the garden and it's just a levelling space where we all just grow food together and we can communicate on a different level, I think.
See this vegetable, we call it perilla. Usually it have different color, like this purple one and this green one. Japanese people like this vegetable because when they make a sushi or sashimi, they put these leaves with sashimi. It's the Japanese like this kind of flavor, yeah, with sashimi. In Taiwan, Taiwanese also like this perilla. We make this leaf when they make a candy fruit. This flower, in Chinese, we call it wild ginger flower. It's easily grow, especially just along the stream, a small river, because this flower like water. And the white flower smells very, very good. Good smell, yeah. As you know, this area located in the precious area in Taipei. People like why people come here to enjoy their living with leisure time.
Vegetable garden during among the most expensive land in Taipei city. We are very fortunate or lucky to have this land.
The neighbors appreciate the city governor provide this land for them because they can come here, plant vegetable. Also, they make friends here. Yeah, it's important. Yeah, especially for people when they retired. After that, they need to find something to do with their living. So it's very, 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 they very appreciated. I think so. Yeah, just like me.
And many people come here to walking and make exercise.
Walk door or walk pace. In the early morning or in the
I like to walk
evening.
Around this garden.
I think if you're excited and passionate about starting your own community garden, no matter where you live, I think anything is possible. And I think once you find a space that's not used that could really brighten up the area, then if you start putting up little signs saying, would you like to get involved, this is what we'd like to do, you'll find that other people will start to join you as well. And once you've got that little group of people who are committed and passionate, then you can create a space like this no matter what kind of area you live in, whether it's the countryside or the city or up a mountain. You can always find people to work together to improve that area. I've been really heartened by how passionate people are about making this a nice place to live, and I think you can find that anywhere. If you just start sowing those seeds of the idea, you will be able to grow that community around the idea.
Let me introduce the Happy Farms manager, Mr. Chen. Mr. Chen handles the Happy Farm for the whole environment cleaning and the other things. Lots of things. He will help us to manage this Happy Farm. Okay, and today is our usual cleaning day. So you can see lots of the gardeners owner come out and to help to clean the environment.
Thank you. Thank you.
谢谢。
然后那个林先生说要找他。This land is located in the middle of Taipei City, and someday this land will be developed to build a mansion or higher apartment. The people here hope they can still use this kind of space to grow beautiful vegetable.
We're really lucky to have this green space in among all these tall buildings. I think it was part of the original design of the estate to have lots of green spaces, so I think that was really important to the architect, and we're really pleased to be able to continue using it in that way. And we have a yearly license with the management company to be able to use it as a food garden, which I hope continues for many, many years to come.